Now it's a creature bait. Now it has the little appendages which move a lot of water, acts like a crawfish. What makes this bait really unique is the tail. The tail is made of a buoyant material, which when the bait's in the water, it creates a very nose down, tail up attitude, just like a crawfish.
Just like a crawfish, okay.
Right. So this is a very effective bait in clear water. It works really great on a Carolina rig, on a Texas rig, but I love to fish it like I have it rigged here on a shaky head.
Okay, this is the time to be rigging this stuff and finding out about it. We're here at CNC Marine in one of these beautiful Ranger boats, and this is the time to start getting your technique together. What is this beautiful bait here? Looks like it's got some ribs going down it and a nice paddle tail. What's this all about?
Right, Vince. This is called the sugarcane worm. Now this bait was designed by Bassmaster Elite Pro Dean Rojas. So this is a great finesse worm. This is a great spotted bass bait. I like to fish this on brass and glass. You know, shaken in the wintertime is a great way to catch those fish. And this bait with the paddle tail is a great shaken bait.
Absolutely.
You know, this bait comes in a bunch of cool colors. This is my favorite color. It's called tilapia, and it's scented with Big Bite Bait's signature bite juice.
So, old school brass and glass.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. That is 2011 products for Big Bite Baits. You're going to need these products because we're going to a lot of clear, deep water lakes. Finesse fishing is where it's going to be at. You guys stay tuned for more Future Pro Tour action after these messages. 2011 Future Pro Tour, we're here with one of our pro support staff members, Skeet Reese, world champion with BASS and Lucky Craft Pro Staff. Skeet, so glad to have you. Man, as part of our pro support staff, you've been with us, you know, supporting us for a long time. As you know, we're trying to grow guys from beginner, intermediate level to finally getting to where you're at. What do you got to say to our future pro guys, and what's going on for this year, and what should they be thinking about?
Well, first and foremost, future pro tour guys, gals, I'm sure there's a few of you out there. I was right where you were at some point in time early in my career. We all got to start at the beginning and work up. You just figure tournament fishing is no different than going to school. You're going to have to go from elementary school and trying to graduate from high school to college and hopefully someday get a master's degree. I'm still trying to work on my master's degree of fishing, but maybe someday I'll get there. The biggest thing I can tell you is, you know, for me, I've made my career, number one, being versatile and sticking with brands I believe in. I fish with products that fit me and my style of fishing, so make sure that no matter what you do out there, if you're a worm fisherman, a jig fisherman, that's your strength. Find the baits that are going to work for you. I've always been a power fisherman, so Lucky Craft fit in perfect for me. You know, I pride myself with being the best of the brands, and Lucky Crafts is the cream of the crop when it comes to hard baits. Fish the products you believe in. May not be what I fish, it may be what you fish, but number one thing, time in the water. You can read and watch about everything I do, what the guys on tour do, but going to the websites, you go to you got advancedangler.com you go to now, there's all this helpful information. There's so much you can learn by reading, but the number one key to success is spending that time in the water and actually applying it to the conditions when you're out there. And it's all about right here. This is where the men and the boys and the girls and the women are separated right there. So
absolutely.
You learn how to use that when you're on the water, you're going to become a much better angler.
We're going to give you the opportunity to see some of the pros at some of the Future Pro events to explain how to fish using premium product like Lucky Craft. We've got some of the Skeet Reese brand, side brands of that Lucky Craft stuff that they sent us, and we're going to be putting it in your hands to teach you guys how to grow from beginner, intermediate, up to one day the pro level. Skeet, thank you.
There's some cool new stuff coming, trust me.
Absolutely.
Oh, yes.
Skeet, thanks so much for being part of our pro support staff. Thanks for your support over the years, and good fishing, everybody. We'll see you out on the water.
Later.
Hey, Todd, we've been catching fish, we've been seeing fish in deep water through our electronics, not only on the console screen, but also on the bow. But we've been primarily focusing around 2D sonar. Now we're looking at side imaging. The breakthrough in marine technology right now allows you to see 240 feet out to the left, 240 feet out to the right, but give you three-dimensional photo-like views of the bottom. That brings the interpretation question for how many years we've all had as anglers completely out in the open. How often are you using this, and what kind of an advantage does it give to you?
Well, I use it almost every time I go out, and it's been a huge advantage. I've become a structure fisherman in the last year. Before, with some of my old electronics, you basically kind of went out and looked for some fish occasionally. You might be able to find them, you might not. Now with the side imaging, I'm able to scan vast bodies of water, locate structure really quick, and generally find fish on structure. Usually if you can find something that looks good on the screen, a big rock pile, we saw earlier some nice humps, you'll find the fish hanging in those areas. They're in there to feed, they're in there to ambush. So it makes it a lot easier to find.
Seems like right now, if you don't have this technology, you don't have side imaging, you are at a complete disadvantage.
I think we're seeing that all over the spectrum, from amateurs all the way up to the pros. They're finding that this is becoming a valuable tool. It cuts your pre-fish down in a third at least. I can find things in hours that took me days to find before.
Right, it's not only just the interpretation, but it's the efficiency of your pre-fishing.
Exactly.
Just recreational fishing for the person that's going out onto a body of water that just doesn't fish it that much, if any, they can go out and cover a vast amount of water in a short period of time and know exactly what's down below.
Sure, when you go out and you got very few days to fish, why do you want to waste it doing nothing? Why not take just a few minutes, find those rock piles, find those stumps, and park on them?
And lastly, you know, the other thing that's come out here in the last year is down imaging. You know, you have left and to the right and side imaging, but you have this water column that a lot of people have always wondered, why can't we get that three-dimensional view straight below the boat? Tell us a little bit about down imaging.
Well, down imaging is a lot like the side imaging, but you're looking straight underneath the boat. It gives me another 3D view of what's underneath the boat. A lot of times I'll tie it together with the 2D, and it's a quick way to learn what your 2D is, what you're looking at on your 2D. Plus it gives me the whole side of the bank down there. I can see the rocks and things that are just off the sides of the boat.
Outstanding. So right now at this point we're going to show you some structure shots of both side imaging and down imaging, and you get to see for yourself what this technology allows you to see that we have never seen before. And it is a game of shadows with side imaging as well, because it tells you the degree, the angle of the object, and as well as it also gives you the depth feel for where the fish might be, or the bait fish, because as the rule, the closer the shadow is to the object, the closer it is to the bottom.
Exactly. Very tough to decipher with them sitting on the bottom. You actually get just a little separation off the bottom.
Good strike right there. Right there, we went right over the fish. We had seen him on the bow.
And we've got a few more coming up here too. Again.
And he ate that strong. There he is. There he is again.
There you go. That's a nice one.
Right where they're supposed to be.
That's right when we went over and marked them again.
Went over it like that. But the key to this is that you see the fish on the screen, and in the technique of dragging, you keep that bait right down in that strike zone. Allows you to put that bait right down in and right in front of their noses. Sure thinks that she's big. We don't know. Oh yeah.
Look at the mud on the bottom of her on this side of the belly.
Classic.
Look at that. She's just sitting buried in the mud. To make sure I got a hook set in him. It's not very big. I got a weenie again. Woo, go.
So my belief is that you being a future Pro Classic champion, this should be a better fish.
Yeah. Well, doesn't feel huge, but it's probably around a 2.
Pressure is on with you.
Yeah, we'll see. You know, I'm using braid on here. I use braid, and then I go down to I use a 17-pound fluoro leader. That's not a bad one. I'll take that one any day. Another nice one. And if you look at the mud on the bottom of them right here. Just mud sitting on them. They've been parked down in there. Nice and deep.
Well, here you go, Todd. Classic shot here. We found the fish in 50 feet of water. We dragged our jigs right through them like that. They stayed right there. We saw them. And look here, we have a smallmouth and we have a spotted bass. This is almost like a cross smallmouth and spotty, as well as that nice pure spotted bass.
Yeah, and boy, they've been feeding good. I mean, you can tell their bellies are so fat. These are really some healthy fish. And when they hit, you know it, don't you?
And we would have never known it unless we had electronics.
Exactly. I mean, to find them on the bottom, sit there and talk about it, and then pull them out, bang, bang, get a double, or almost a double. Close enough. Makes for a good day of fishing, doesn't it?
The Thunder Valley Outdoors Future Pro Tour has been presented by Ranger Boats, still building legends one at a time. Evinrude Outboards, see the new Evinrude E-Tech. Tracy Toyota, for our customer service is the difference. Navionics, the leader in electronic charts. And these fine sponsors. Welcome everybody, 2011 Future Pro Tour. We're here with one of our premier sponsors, Navionics Corporation, Tashambe Moore, Western Regional Representative, and we are going to have a great 2011 season.
Absolutely.
I'm hearing in the wind great things about Navionics. You want to tell us a little bit about what's going on?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you very much. We're proud to be a sponsor of the Future Pro Tours. It's going to be a fantastic year.
Okay.
Like you said. I think one of the things that is really important with all the things that we're doing from a technology standpoint, Navionics World, it's really about all the different devices that we touch, from iPad, the Droid, the iPhone, PCs, all of those things from a planning standpoint, it's huge for your anglers out there. One of the things that will be an advantage for them is something we call UGC. UGC is user-generated content, and what it does is it allows your anglers to add content to our maps, making their experience and the maps that they use much better.
All right. So we're talking about applications that an everyday guy can learn to use for his everyday fishing.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow, I'm excited. 2011 Future Pro Tour, and if you want to know a little bit more about the Navionics applications and all the details, Future Pro has a curriculum called Future Pro Tech, in which we have classes that detail what we're talking about. Go to futureprotour.net to find out more information. We wish everybody good fishing, and we hope to see you all soon out on the water.